What's up, Mike?
What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I am great. How about yourself?
Doing good. Can't complain, you know? It's a Monday. I got air in my lungs, and we get to catch up, talk a little basketball,
Right.
go down memory lane,
And it's a happy hour.
and it's happy hour. Can't be mad about that to start the week off, right?
Right. That's right.
I do want to remind everyone though, before we get started, our happy hour is presented by Michelob Ultra. And if you go to drizzly.com, you can use the code Ultra Magic. Mike's ready, and you can get $5 off your order to have Michelob Ultra delivered or anything else. And also order responsibly because we don't condone any crazy behavior here. Maybe we do. Anyways, so Mike, let's get right to it. We had some fans already sending questions. I know we'll probably get more questions as we go through. But the first question, and it's very simplistic, which I appreciated, it just was, what are you up to these days?
Not a whole lot. Just chasing my family around. Still staying in basketball. I actually coached my oldest son's high school basketball team last year, which was a lot of fun. I challenged myself. Just enjoying my family and being around basketball.
Yeah. How have you enjoyed coaching? I know you've had some since we're obviously going to get into Memphis alongside Penny, but how have you just enjoyed that perspective of the game, having been a player for so much of your life?
It was fun, a different challenge. I think the hardest thing any guy that's played at a professional level or anyone that's been at the high profession is finding something that can, replicate that or that feeling. There's really nothing out there. So just staying in there and your mind occupied in the basketball field. This year obviously was extra special because it was with my two boys as well. So it was a definitely a blessing.
Yeah. How is that coaching your own kids?
A lot easier said than done. We had a pack at the beginning of it that we weren't going to take it home with us. I don't know how well that went from time to time, but there's times they loved me and hated me at the same time. But those things where when I got into it to help all the kids, not just my own, be ready for college, what to expect in college after my experience with Memphis, what I saw at Memphis where kids were further along than others and why. And so I was just trying to help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely get that. I'm trying to read all these comments that are flying in so quickly. People are very excited that you're joining me today. So we of course are thankful for everyone that is tuning in. Our next question, just kind of shifting gears. Let's start to go back now down memory lane when you first got into the league. What was that like for you coming into the NBA?
Oh, a blessing, coming from South Dakota where I came from, Florida, which was awesome to me for 2 years. The Orlando Magic organization taking a chance on me, drafted me where they did. Came in, was fortunate enough to come into a team that had a lot of good veterans. And I really truly believe that a lot of young kids are a product of their environment and are a product of their veterans and their culture and their staff. And when you look from top to bottom where I was at, it was just a blessing. And I was fortunate in that situation. A lot of kids, or a lot of guys that get drafted aren't as fortunate as I was. And I understand that, especially now. And so I had, an unbelievable ownership family, a front office great, a fan base that was awesome right down the road where I played college basketball. Coaching Doc Rivers, veterans like Monty Williams and Daryl Armstrong and Grant Hill and Tracy Grady, Patrick Ewing, guys that, really taught me along the way and brought me up and made me understand how fortunate we all are to be here. Made me earn my stuff, and that's really all you ask for.
It's actually funny that you mentioned it. I think I see RJ up on here,
Oh.
which a lot of people, of course, have asked about the connection. That was definitely going to be something we got into, but I feel like maybe we just switch gears currently and we'll circle back just because it's obviously a big.
You brought up RJ's name and made me drink a beer.
He said, "I need some money, man."
Thank you for Orlando Magic. You got plenty of it now.
How did that? I know just from having read articles you talking about him and doing my own research, for people who might not be as familiar with the history between you and RJ, can you just kind of give us a brief insight as to how you guys came to be working alongside one another?
Well, I've known RJ and his family, unbelievable family, since he was a sophomore in high school. I'm at the University of Memphis, coach here. They said no to me, and so I got out of coaching because I couldn't get them. So Uh, I didn't do a very good job of recruiting him, but a lot of people don't know this. But I recently got my NBA agency license. I'm actually represent Rj Hampton, so he took another chance on me here, and it's been an unbelievable thing for me. And so I'm appreciative of him. But just helping him through this, I trying to give as much guidance as possible. Trying to show him the way, the mistakes I made, some of the good things I did. Trying to hopefully help him along the path. But he's an unbelievable talent, an unbelievable kid, and Orlando's lucky to have him.
Will you guys continue to work with each other during the off season?
Oh, of course, as much as he wants. I think that's one of the biggest things that he really wanted to do, and that's why I have to give a lot of credit to him and his family. When they got back, it was a lot about getting better, being ready for the draft, not just draft night, but to be the best professional that he can be. And a lot of that it takes a lot of technology to do that. And so he reached out, got a lot of work in, and got better every day. Continue to do that. He's gonna be a star.
Yeah, I actually got to chat with him a little bit over the weekend, and we went through his process of deciding to opt out of going the NCAA route and going to New Zealand instead. And I was like, what an unbelievable story, because that's so uncommon. You typically see, and just to be able to be like, no, I want to go pro. I want to be with where the men are and work my way up that way, I think is absolutely great.
Yeah,
to be able to have those options.
It was a big decision for him. But it's been great for him. I mean, I think, it was just one more year of being a professional that a lot of the college kids didn't get, right? I mean, he's had to learn how to play with other great players, the physicality of that, the different styles of basketball, all that stuff is big.
Yeah. What is it like having him be on the team that drafted you? I know he wasn't necessarily drafted by the Magic, but for him to be at a place that you're very familiar with.
Yeah, I think obviously when the trade happened and he got to Orlando, I was letting him know how fortunate he is to be. That's an unbelievable deal. The whole organization, top to bottom, is great. Always has been. So he's in the spot he's supposed to be in, and so he's going to take advantage of that and be great because of it.
Are there any other players that you work with as well outside of RJ? Are there going to be any other Magic players that you're going to try to work alongside with this offseason?
We'll see. I mean, I'll be honest. I just love it. So if I can have the gym with anybody and work with anybody, I do it. But right now, our main focus is on stuff with RJ and getting better with him every day.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna go back a little bit now. Backtrack to where we were before, just because there was something that you mentioned, and it was actually one of our questions. You talked about how important having that veteran presence is, especially as a rookie coming into the league, because they really help shape the locker room. With that being said, was there any player that you felt was the most influential on you, especially as you entered the league, and had the biggest impact on you?
Tracy McGrady was huge for me because I think, he was 4 years in, but he was closest to my and so, I was able to train and work out with him a ton. But I'll be honest, we had my friendship with T-Mac is still great. Those were great years. I was fortunate. I mean, Grant Hill was the constant pro. Daryl Armstrong was City. Bo Outlaw was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great group. For me to walk into that locker room, it's a little bit different now than it is for some of these other guys coming through. I had a lot of veterans and a lot of guys, Monty Williams and Daryl Armstrong, who's still doing stuff in the league, Bo Outlaw, who's still a part of it, Pat Garrett, Michael Dolan, all great dudes that work hard. And I was just fortunate to be around those. T-Mac was probably one I'm closest with because of our age at the time, and we trained together every day, and I learned a lot from those guys in Grant Hill.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, you've had a lot of seasons in the league, so you've kind of seen it on both ends of the spectrum of what you think works in a locker room, how important it is to have that veteran leadership, which is interesting now because I guess with this topic being what it is, the Orlando Magic, when you look at the team now, this is a very young group. Yeah. So what would be your, I guess, piece of advice that you would give them for the fact that now it's a very young locker room as opposed to it having a lot of that veteran presence?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for all young kids is understanding what success will do for you, not just individual success, but team success. Mm-hmm. Not being satisfied with the losing, It's the hardest thing. It's not letting losing take take its full control over you. The NBA is really, really easy to lose. And so for these young kids, understanding it's going to take time, but as long as you do things the right way, you take care of your game, you take care of your practice habits as a group with the young talent they have, that everything's going to be good at the end. And it's easier said than done, right? Everyone talks about sacrifice doing those things. Well, you knew the results would be, everybody be willing to sacrifice, but sometimes you got to sacrifice at a young age, not knowing what the results are going to be. But for these guys, understanding that, making sure that you become a professional at an early age, understand that the people around you are there for a reason, trust and listen to the staff they have in place, and show up to work every day. If you do those things, you're going to be successful. Your talent's there. Not just doing the rest of that.
What have you noticed about this current Magic team? I know you obviously keep a much closer eye with RJ being on the team. So what have been your general thoughts so far?
They got a lot of great pieces. They're building it the right way. Obviously, the hardest thing for any front office to do is to make a big pivot, and they were willing to do that. And sometimes it gets scary, but I think it was the best thing for them. Which was an unbelievable pro. Fournier was an unbelievable pro. Gordon was an unbelievable pro. But they had to pivot and they had to make a move, and I think they did it the right way. They're building around some young pieces. They had a great draft in Cole. I think they got an absolute star in RJ. Mo's getting more time and better. Terrence, obviously, just absolute lights out on the bench. So they got a great little core there. Like I said, you don't get discouraged with some of the losses because they're in a lot of games, and can build individually, which will ultimately take care of the team wins and losses.
Yeah. Well, I think just this season in general has been been so topsy-turvy in so many different ways in terms of who is actually the best team currently in the league. No one expected the Utah Jazz to be what they are, but that's really here nor there. But Cole Anthony is someone that you mentioned, and you guys share a number. You were 50, he's 50. What is that like? I know that's not the most common number, but to see someone like him rep a number that you used to formerly have.
Yeah. Obviously it looks better on him probably than on me. I think he wears it for different reasons because his dad was a stud that wore it too. Just a competitor. I love seeing how he competes and goes out there every night. And that's what I'm saying. Like you start talking about even with Fultz being and a lot of the pieces they have a lot of dynamics. They're going to be fun. And I'm excited to see them get healthy, but I'm excited to see, Cole and RJ attack this as a guard tandem. As they learn and grow and get around each other more. It's hard to do anything after trade deadline with kids and trades because you just got to try and find ways to fit them in and put them in positions to succeed because the last thing you want to do is have anyone go through it where it's tough. So they get a full strength, get a full training, a good summer to work. Really, really good together. It'll be fun.
What is actually your reasoning for picking 50?
You know what? I got out and I was 13 in college. And 13 was not available when I got, and so my whole family wore number 50. So my brother wore 50, my dad wore 50, my uncle wore 50. So it was just the next best number, and I carried on a family tradition.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. But I do also, just to keep everyone up to date, if you haven't joined, I just want to thank everyone for joining us in on our MichelobULTRA happy hour. And also that you can get $5 off any order through Drizly.com by using the code UltraMagic. Also, if you guys have any questions for Mike, make sure you just send them in and we will try to get to them. So any questions, make sure you go ahead and do that. Just getting back to fan questions that were sent in earlier. One question, craziest moment during an NBA game?
Ooh, craziest moment. Oh.
This can be a great fan story too if you have any crazy fan stories, because I always greatly appreciate those.
I mean, for me, for me being in the NBA Finals obviously was a lot of fun, craziness. You get a lot of crazy fan moments. I've been called everything. That's how crazy it's gonna be. This is this is a happy hour, so I'm gonna try to keep it happy. But a lot of crazy stuff in this league. But you know what? It's all for the best because the NBA league office, everybody does such a good job of putting together a product that's out there. So it's so crazy, but it's been a lot of fun.
How have you seen the NBA evolve? Just even during your time playing to now?
Yeah, she's gotten so much better, but you know the talent's gotten so much better as well. So the whole product, but you know, the reason the talent gets better is the product got better, and the NBA league offer. The NBA, I think, does the best job. They really do continue to make this a global game. The fan experience is awesome because when you're at the games, I was just at one actually in Orlando. When you're without fans right now, it's still a great experience. So you know they really do. You know, it's a special game, and the NBA has grown so much. It's probably the best experience you have as a fan to go watch an NBA game.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I see some questions coming in. So AJB19 wants to know, who's the hardest player you played while being part of the Orlando Magic?
The player that probably baptized, the two players that probably baptized me the most was Reggie Miller. He gave me a lot of fits. He was tough. But the player that was the hardest to guard when I was actually playing for the Magic was Kobe. He just had, I mean, obviously, rest in peace, Kobe. He was just a special dude and a special basketball player. You know, I don't feel bad saying he baptized me because he baptized a lot of guys. But really, when I walked away from those games, that there was levels to this, and I wasn't quite near his level. You know, he was just a special dude. But I got to see that every day with Grant, T-Mac in practice too. So there's just levels to the game, and what you can do as a player is go out there and compete as much as possible. You know, but sometimes talent wins, and in their case, talent won a lot.
Yeah. This is actually an interesting question, just because based off, I know KD did this earlier of his top 5 teammates. Nick Wright wants to know, who are your top 3 or 5 teammates?
Oh man, I'm going to put T-Mac up there because he's my first dude. Like he was the guy that really taught me the ropes, taught me work, taught me practice habits, taught me you know, training, allowed me to come in his inner circle and train with him, which for a 19, 20-year-old kid was huge. So I'm putting him in there. Udonis Haslem is up there because he was my, you know, college. He was with me through college, and then we were with him in Miami. Ultimate teammate, ultimate toughness. You know, you knew who you had every day when you walked next to him. And you know, with their lights on or lights off, you knew he had your back, which is huge.
Yeah.
LeBron right there too. I mean, just, you know, obviously, you know, with the championships and stuff like that, it speaks for itself. But just an ultimate teammate. Shane Battier's up there. Man, I can keep going. I got a bunch. Chris Bosh, Dwayne, like all the.
I was gonna say, you've played with a lot of
yeah,
great players. That's a very tough question to ask.
like, yeah, Pau Gasol, Marc Gasol, you know, Nikola Jokic. I mean, I got a lot of guys I played with that were really good to be around.
Yeah. This is actually an interesting question. I imagine you're gonna have to think on this for a little bit. But someone asked, who would you say has a similar playing style to you as when you were a player? Or like you see someone, you're like, oh, they remind me of me.
It depends. Whoever asked that question, it depends on what age are you talking about. The younger one I do, and I think he's actually better than me. But I see the style of the game and the way he plays a lot like Tyler Hero. You know, he had a lot of that. He competes. He wants the action. Can shoot it, can deck it. You know, I think it had. You know, if you're talking about the younger me, as we get older, I mean, there's a lot of guys that can shoot it way better than I do. That just shoot baskets now and you know, play a style like Duncan Robinson plays a great style. Kyle Korver was always the guys I always love watching play. You know, just great. The guy really shoot it and score it and stretch it. But Chandler Parsons, yeah, someone just hit that up. He's good. They're all better than me though. So, but they play ish, Mike Miller ish.
Not giving yourself enough credit. I appreciate this question because this is a question I always thoroughly enjoy asking. So Steven wants to know, did you ever get pranked or pull a prank on someone during your time in the league? And if so, what was it?
You know what? I got lucky. I didn't get hit. I didn't get no rookie hazing. They were easy on me. Maybe because they felt sorry because I was the only rookie or whatever. But they never really did that. And so, vice versa, I never did that to anybody else either. It's like I always passed down what they gave me. They gave me, they took care of me. I try to do that same thing with the rookies coming in. I never really did a whole lot of that.
That's fair. I respect that. That wouldn't have been my move. You would have had Post-it notes all over your car walking out after practice. Something just like absolutely.
But like if someone was with my rookie year and they hazed me, I would probably been back. But they were good to me.
Let's see. A lot of people asking you your thoughts on Jokic.
Oh, Joker. Yeah. Yeah. High level. I'll be honest with you. When I showed up there in Denver, my last couple of years, I showed up and watched him in training camp, and he was fat, not out of shape, and didn't look like he could hoop, but his game was unreal. And so I remember like it was yesterday. I said, I don't know who that kid is right there, the one that doesn't look like he could ever play basketball in his life. He's going to be special. And, I'm proud of him because, that just goes to show everyone's journey is different. Doesn't matter what you were ranked or where you're at or what you're doing. He continued to do his thing, and he was so, so talented. And now he's changed his body. He plays high minutes, and probably going to be MVP of the league this year. So, here's a guy, man, like he just has everything. For all young kids, when I've seen a lot of young kids come through, the game usually speeds up when the ball hits their hands. For him, it was like the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like the ball hit his hands, the game just stopped. He saw everything. And that was from 19 years on. And he's just gotten continued better. Like now he's a high level 3-point shooter. He makes everybody around him better. The whole offense runs through him. And that's hard, man, for a 7-foot kid who, couldn't speak English when he came over here. So, he's just really adapted, and his family's awesome, and he has an unbelievable support system around.
He does. He really does. And it's been great. I always love seeing the different seasons of the league and the different players that have like that peaks and valleys over like 5 years ago. It wasn't a guy like Jokic, and just seeing how that transition happens year in and year out. This is a question that I was going to get to, just throwing it back to your time with the Magic. Someone wanting to know, how was it winning Rookie of the Year?
It was awesome, but I'll be honest, every award or every guy goes through almost the same thing, but it's true. I won Rookie of the Year, but it wasn't me. It really wasn't. I was every day I was pushed in practice. Doc was on me. Johnny Davis was on me. Presley was on me. Like their coaching staff was awesome, and they were always on me. And the guys around me made me better. I mean, I was fortunate. Again, I understand why I'm successful in things I do. And for me, it was because, a lot of rookies come in and have to shoulder a lot. I wasn't one of those rookies. I came in and had to fit in with great talent guys around me. I've already mentioned them, and that made my job a lot easier because every rookie, I don't care who you are, when you're in there, the way they succeed is because they're not asked to do more than they can do at that time. It doesn't mean that's not who they're going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. It's just year one. You got to keep everything simple and put them in position to succeed. And a lot of rookies come in the league wanting more, but the best thing sometimes is having less. And so, because it allows them to grow at their own pace, the pace they're supposed to grow. And then there's just the special ones, right, that they can take and take on that burden. A lot of these rookies, I say it every time, that are unhappy with, you judge yourself 2, 3, 4s. Once you get to those years and you've had your chance to understand the game and have 3, 4 years growing with the best development in the world, that's when you find out who you are as a player. Obviously, everybody wants SportsCenter success and wants it right away. So for me to win Rookie of the Year was an absolute blessing. I never guessed it in a million years, but it definitely changed my life.
Yeah, I could see that. And that's a really good point that you made, because I know, like, anytime players come back for their sophomore season, everyone's like, is it going to be a sophomore slump? Like, are they going to be able to replicate what it was? Will they be better what it was? So I think that is very true, that it really takes a good couple years. One, you're still growing into your body in so many ways, whether you're coming from overseas or the NCAA, there's still so much growth that happens. I do want to shout this out just because I've seen so many people mention Coral Springs, because someone was like, do you miss Coral Springs? And I just think it's funny because I grew up in Coral Springs. So it's just a funny thing that I keep seeing pop up. So I feel like I had to at least acknowledge that. I miss everything
about Florida.
Pardon?
I miss everything about Orlando, Florida, the whole thing. I love Florida. It's great.
Yeah. Do you come back to visit a lot to Florida?
I try to. It's tough now. My kids. My oldest goes to college in about a month, so dad, but maybe soon again.
Where is he set to go?
He's going to University of Creighton. So yeah, he'll
Okay.
be playing basketball. Yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah, we're
That's
excited.
so, that's really exciting. I know someone earlier asked, like, how's your son's playing career coming along? What do you think's gonna happen?
No, he's
Do you,
played a great year. We won the state championship this year, which was awesome. He was Tennessee Mr. Basketball. So he's working. He understands it's gonna be difficult, but for him it's an unbelievable run, and I get to be around him a lot more, so that's great.
hmm Does he have intent of or hopes to go to the league as well?
I think everybody does. Everybody wants to. He has the abilities to continue to do that if he works.
hmm
It's all there for him. Obviously, he's tall and he gets athleticism from his mom, so that's good. He just he has a chance to do some special things. He's just got to work, just like all the kids. But he has a chance.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Mhm.
so cool.
Yeah, we're
I mean,
excited.
I don't have kids, so I don't know what that's like, but I imagine that's a really cool thing to kind of to be a part of and be able to share something that you're so passionate about with.
With both my kids, both my boys, really, it's fun to see it. It's fun to see it from.
Yeah, I bet. And like I said, it's just a completely different perspective that you get to look at that from
No doubt.
on the flip side. So let's see if there's maybe one more question. We'll do a quick summary because I know people tuned in late, but I've seen a lot of people ask. Just quick thoughts on RJ Hampton, just because, like I said, I've seen a lot of people ask about it, even though I know we've talked about it already.
Oh, just gonna be a stud. I think he has all-star written all over him. He's one of those guys that has something that you can't teach with his speed and athleticism. Can play multiple positions. He's probably a natural point, but can play on probably up to three positions, which is unique in what the game is going to right now. Game really slows down for him. We're going to see him better. He will be a high-level three-point shooter when we're done with him. Sure, from times you see right now where he has his moments, and his consistency's gotten a lot better. He's gonna be an all-star, and Orlando got really really lucky with him. But I know we're fortunate enough to be in Orlando as well, so it's a great fit.
Where do you see this young core being in a couple years' time?
I expect it to be back to where Orlando is supposed to be, and that's the playoffs. I think they're building it the right way. They got draft capital. They got money to spend, which is a great destination, and they got young pieces. So they'll do a great. I've had conversations with their front office. They understand where they want to go and then how to get there. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see this group come together, even younger pieces next year, and then add the free agencies that give them the stability of some better guys. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this team grow.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you so much for taking time out of your Monday to join me on this Michelob Ultra Happy Hour. And again, I just want to remind everyone that you can use the code UltraMagic at drizly.com for $5 off your order. So again, Mikey, thank you so much. It was an absolute joy talking to you and being able to catch up.
Thank you so much. Enjoy it.
Bye.